Hi, this is Gene. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a walkthrough of our digital course launch. This is part of our 300 emails in 10-week challenge, but the challenge also includes creating a webinar and actually creating a prime product that you're actually going to sell. Okay, so a lot of people who are in this challenge might feel overwhelmed with all of the moving pieces and all of the components. So what we're going to do here is we're going to illustrate exactly how everything sequences together. All right, so the main components of this challenge is obviously to create a lead magnet, to build an email list, to create an email campaign or a pipeline to engage with people who opt into your lead magnet. We want to create a webinar event as a launch for selling your product, whether it's a prime offer or a minimum viable product, it doesn't really matter. And we also want to create our product offering. Okay, so how do all of this pieces, how do they sequence together? All right, so obviously we begin with creating our lead magnet. In this case, it's a 3-part video mini series or mini course. And after you create the lead magnet, what you want to do is you want to create call to actions. Okay, that basically gives the visitor to your website one choice, and that is to exchange their name and their email address for your mini course. Okay, so where do you put these call to actions? Obviously, you want to put it on your website. So your website, the first thing they should see is you have this mini course and you have a call to action where they can actually register. Now, if you're doing blogs, you should also have a call to action on each blog. You should have it in the sidebar, and you should also have it at the footer section of the blog. So if they're reading something that's very interesting or very valuable, they'll say, oh, you got this mini course, and they'll just click the call to action and they can register. You also want to put the same call to action in our case, based on our 30 and 10 challenge. We want to put the same call to action either on 2 landing pages or 3 landing pages. And what we want to do is we want to A/B test different headlines to see which one has a better conversion rate. Okay. Now, what you also want to do every week as part of your marketing blueprint is you want to create content that your avatars will be interested in. So whether it's a podcast or a blog or a vlog, it doesn't really matter. But in the challenge, we want to choose 3 different social media channels, and each one will go to a different landing page. And we're going to analyze the conversion rates of the 3 different landing pages so we can get a better understanding of what type of sales copy in the headline converts better. Okay. Now, all of these call to actions go to an opt-in page, which is basically, yes, I want to take your mini course. And when they opt in, which is when they get there, it's basically another call to action. It basically goes to an email list. Okay, and you're capturing these emails. Our goal in this challenge is obviously to get 300 emails. Now, once you capture their email address, this is when you want to create an email campaign. Okay, so email 1 is a welcome message. Email 2, 3, and 4, you're sending them to the 3 video lessons that you've created. Email 5 is when you want to actually announce what date your webinar event is going to be held on. Okay, so you have to space this further out. That's why it's a 10-week challenge. And then the follow-up emails, email 6 through 10, 1 piece per week. These are what we call content warming content. This is how you keep your email subscribers, how you keep that list warm. Okay, so you have this email campaign, you have all of these 10 emails kind of sequenced into your autoresponder, and then what? Okay, so each of the video emails, if you want to do it this way, it can go to a video page. Okay, so every 2 days they're getting a new video, and all the videos are sequenced where it's following this kind of problem, solution, PS path, where it's a small problem, you present a solution, then you introduce another problem, and so on and so on and so on. And then on the third video, when they see the last video, they should get a link to another registration page. Okay, so you want them now to register for your webinar. So the webinar has another call to action, and basically they have to enter their name and their email address again to confirm that they want in on the free webinar that you are doing, the free live webinar. Okay, and then the subsequent emails. Obviously, email 5 is also announcing this event, so it goes to that registration page. And then email 6 through 10, when you're providing content to keep your list warm, there should also be a link that goes directly to that registration page. So once they opt into your lead magnet or your mini course, you want to warm them up and get them to register for your webinar event. Okay, because the webinar event is when you're actually going to sell your prime offering. So then what happens is once they register for your webinar event, it starts another email campaign. So obviously the first one is thank you for registering. And then you want to sequence it so right before the webinar, like 2 days before the webinar, they get a reminder. The day of the webinar, they get a reminder. 3 hours before the event, they get another reminder. And then 15 minutes before the webinar event is going to start, they get a final reminder that the webinar is going to start. Okay, and then you have your webinar. Okay, so what happens here is during the webinar is you want to deliver some type of value beyond what they learned in the mini course, right? And then in the webinar, you're basically sending them to an open cart, which is when they can actually buy either your minimum viable product or your prime offering. Okay, so you want to give them an irresistible offer. You want to have a checkout page. After they check out, then that basically you've captured the sale, and that's when you can start delivering your online course. Okay, so that will have to be sequenced in some way, but this is kind of the overall framework. And then after the webinar event, you want to send a couple more messages, maybe with additional bonuses. And what you want to do is you want to try to make the offer irresistible by adding bonuses, using kind of scarcity where, once this open cart closes, you have to wait until next semester before you're going to launch this course again, however you want to sequence it. But this is basically all the components of launching a digital course in this challenge that we want to do. All right. And like this is just an example. So this is my web page. So you can see the first thing that they do on the web page is free video course. China Business Essentials, 3-video mini course, how to find the right partner in China. Okay. That one call to action will basically send them to the registration page for this mini course. And then and once they register, it will start that email sequence. Now the slides that I just shared, what I did is I just made those into an image and I put this on my screen. So these are the 3 monitors that I use to do everything that I do. And you can see everything is now in front of me, reminding me every day of all the pieces that I need to do, all the content that I need to develop, all the sales copy that I need to write, and all of the things that I need to sequence. In my case, I'm using Kajabi, all the things that I need to sequence in Kajabi. All right. So I hope this helps everybody understand exactly what we're doing and how all the pieces fit together.